I want you to look deep into my crystal ball. Real deep. I'm getting a premonition. And it's about you. And turns out you're going to die alone. And I wonder, how does that make you feel? Does that make you sad? Are you disappointed? You see, today I see a real obsession with relationships. How it seems like that seems to be like the end all be all for most niggas. They want to find a wife or the one, you know what I'm saying? The girl, you know what I'm saying? They want to have some kids and just live a merry, happy life. Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? I hope that happens for you if that's what you want. But in my personal experience, with me living in the real world, and maybe I'm just not around the right people. Maybe I didn't grow up in the correct area. But this whole relationships and families and all that, in most cases, it ain't that sweet. Like I don't know personally. Granted, I don't know a lot of people, but I don't know personally a lot of super happy marriages or a lot of super happy relationships. They may look good, you know what I'm saying, from the outside, but you don't know what they got going on behind closed doors. But yet that seems to be the goal for everybody. Is that you just want to get married and live the family life and just have a happy, sweet old time. But what if that is not the route for you? What if you never find anyone? You never get married. You never have any significant relationship. Maybe have a little, you know what I'm saying, little something here and there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you date for a couple months, maybe a year or two. But you never get anything serious, anything solid. And it seems like nowadays that seems to be more of the case. It's harder for people to find, solid relationships. Just with the way today is. You know what I'm saying? People are way too quick to move on to the next person, or they just got simply too many options. And when you have this idea that you have an abundance of opportunities or options that you can choose from, it's going to be very hard for you to settle down with anyone because you always thinking that you can do better. Or the person that you're with, she's thinking she can do better. But why do we have this? I guess it's a human urge. You know what I'm saying? We all crave some sort of connection with someone. My thing is that I don't think you necessarily have to have that connection with a significant other. At least not in terms of get married forever with this one person. I do agree that you do need some form of human connection with someone, but that someone can be the family that you already have. It can be your mom, it can be your dad, it can be your brother, it can be your sister. It can just be close friends. But we're all focused on this marriage, this family. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody wants. But then, you know what I'm saying, you get married. Okay, cool. You get married and 3-4 years down the line, y'all hate each other. And y'all can't figure out how to get past the arguments or the y'all get past the honeymoon stage and then it's wraps. the relationship goes downhill from there. And I don't want to say this completely to like bad mouth relationships, because there are good relationships out there. But I do believe like that is the minority. I don't think most relationships are that great. I don't think most marriages are anything to talk about. But for whatever reason, that seems to be the goal. So why? Why are you searching so hard for this quote unquote this perfect individual that's just gonna, I guess, make your life? And I even when that comes out of my mouth, that doesn't sound right. You want an individual that is not you to come in and make your life better, or fulfill it in some way. I guess it's a bit of a different story when it comes to kids. Um, I don't got no kids. I don't really have a desire for kids. So maybe that's just me. But at the same time, like it's like when people say like, "Oh my God, I'm having a baby." Everyone's congratulations. That's so great. Jesus, my throat is dry. Sorry. And everybody congratulates you. But what's so great about that? It's just a genuine question. Because on the surface, that's what everyone says is great. Everyone thinks that is great. But for one thing, bringing a child into the world is a selfish act, especially if you're not in an amazing position to take care of a child, or to give a child everything that they need to nourish, and whatever the case is, for them to flourish in life. You have a child because you want to. That child didn't ask to be brought into this world. That child didn't ask for you to be its parents. But yet it seems to be the goal for everyone. I guess I feel like it's just human nature at the end of the day, that we want to multiply. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep our bloodline going. But why? Is it because of the legacy? Do you want some amazing legacy? Let me ask y'all a question. What is your great grandfather's name? How many of you guys know that? What's your great grandmother's name? We got this idea that legacies are so important, and what we leave behind is the most important thing. But the truth is that once you're gone, there's a few people that are really going to remember you and really going to think about you for maybe the rest of their lives. But majority of people, they're not going to care. They're going to completely forget about you. I watched the Alex Hormozy video, and he was speaking on kind of like legacies and stuff. And he said, the Queen of England had died. And most people didn't even know she died, especially if you don't live in England. And she was literally a fucking queen. And yet, her legacy, it may go down in some history books, but for the majority of the populace, they don't care. And for majority of us, ain't nothing going in the history book. You know what I'm saying? Your story will just be your story. And I guess people don't want to die alone. Fair enough. But you are going to die alone. When you die, it's just you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one knows your full story. Only you know your story. Completely. But We got this idea that we got to pass it on, or we got to pass on our seed to the next generation. And I guess in terms of like keeping the world populated, that's good. And maybe that's why it's pushed so heavily, because we want the world to continue to spin. And we want people to continue to be on this earth. So we push the idea that, hey, you should have some kids. You should have some kids and you should populate the earth and show them all of what you got going on. Because like let's say you have a kid and your kid turns 13 and all of a sudden your kid hates you. What are you going to do about that? You had this grand idea that you're going to have this kid. He's going to be your protege. He was going to live on everything that you didn't do. And that is selfish. That's all about you. But yet, all these things that are about you, you bring other people into. Why do people leave relationships? Because they're no longer fulfilled in the relationship. Or some things are no longer, hitting the marks that they used to. Therefore, this person, you, decide that this person is no longer benefiting your life, so you no longer want to be in a relationship. Selfish. But you spend so much time searching for this person to complete you. This is more of a question. This is a question video. This is just a pondering video. Because it seems like that's the end goal for everybody. Or for most people. Most people aren't comfortable being alone. Are you comfortable being alone? Is your relationship simply a way to get rid of the silence? Do you fear the silence? Can you handle not having anyone to talk to? And I think that's what it ends up being, is that most people just get lonely. So they want someone to be there. They want someone to talk to, someone to tell their problems to. And maybe that's a good enough reason in itself. Maybe you need that person. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the answers. I'm simply presenting ideas, presenting thoughts, and I ask you to ponder them. And is that a sufficient reason to get into a relationship? To be in a relationship? And once again, I'm not trying to like shit on relationships, because there are a few that are good. There are a few that are great. There are some families that are amazing. Unfortunately, that is the minority. So before you get so quick to jump into these relationships, so quick to have some kids, just ask yourself, like why are you doing it? Is it for you? Is it to hopefully have a better version of you on earth? Once again, that's selfish. And honestly, has nothing to do with that kid. What you want, honestly, don't got shit to do with him or her. But as the father, as the parent, as the mother, you know what I'm saying, you will put your ideals on this individual. You know, all this stuff is it's very selfish. But yet we group in other people to fulfill our selfish desires. And the thing is, bro, that the person you're getting into a relationship with, they also have the same selfish desires. So when things don't work out, surprise. Niggas act like they ain't see it coming. Niggas act like that's not even a possibility. I just don't see why it's so sought after. Besides, like, little, I don't want to say insignificant, but like just natural wants. I guess that's a better way to put it. That you want a relationship. You want a significant other. The question I'm asking is, do you need it? You know what I'm saying? But society's going to say that you do. You know what I'm saying? You're going to look, people are probably going to frown upon you if you get to a certain age and you don't have any kids, or you don't have a wife, or you haven't been married. You might just have to let them, nigga, so? Have you ever pondered the idea that, like, what would you do if it was just going to be you for the rest of the time? Like, would you be okay with that? And I think if you can get to a point where you're content with that idea that you would be okay if you died alone, that then if you were to actually come across a relationship, have a family, that it would be more of a fulfilling experience because you don't need these things. Well, these, see, I call them things, people, I guess, relationships. You know, but then again, maybe you do. And maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Just something to ponder. Deuces.